fitting a ghost camera to a bike. I know you can get adapters, but I want something that fits snugly onto the handlebars. Well, there's the thing that you would normally stick onto the side of your helmet. And what I'm doing is I'm using an old spoke and I'm curling up a piece of wire that will hook onto it like that. I'll show you in a little bit more. I'm going to turn a second one. And then those pieces of wire are going to be tie wrapped onto the handlebars. I've got two of these, which means I can leave one permanently attached to the bike. Well, as permanently as tie wrap holds. You can always cut tie wrap off and start again. And I've got a spare one for use elsewhere. So I'm going to just bend up my second one of these brackets. So a bit of foil around the handlebars where I want the camera to be. And I'm going to tie wrap my two bits of metal bracket onto the handlebar first of all, before inserting the sockets to hold the camera. Let's have a go at that. So that's the two brackets tie wrapped roughly onto the handlebar. I think I've over tightened this first tie wrap first. I should have left them slacker. But let's see how it goes. Thoughts just now. I think I'd pulled this first tie wrap too tight. On the second one, I've got plenty of hot melt glue underneath the tie wrap. So when I pull it tight, the glue that hopefully is adhering to the base of this pad is also well under the tie wrap. So the tie wraps are underneath these metal bits here. The metal bits are bent over there, and the hot melt glue holds everything in place. That seems to be firmly on. You can't have these metal lugs in very far because it fouls the underside of the camera. See the scratch marks on the camera. So it only just needs to just nip round. At the front here, it can be longer because it's in front of where the camera is, but it's in danger of pulling off the front. That one, because it's sprung out, is not there. It's a lash up, but it's very low profile, and basically I'm creating with the hot melt glue a mold that molds itself to here, and a means of fixing the tie wraps and these metal bricks together. So the tie wraps hold it onto the handlebars and the metal bits grip around and hold the base plate on there, and then the camera can slide in and out as and when I want. As it has happened, that's angled in slightly, but I've just checked it. The first click round with the angling twists the camera out enough to get it more or less in line with the front wheels, so I'm not going to worry about that. As it's a hot melt glue, presumably, if you didn't do up the tie wraps to start with, as I have, and left them until later, if that was a way of doing it, just have them looped over, then you could, once you got it approximately right, take the whole assembly off, warm it in boiling water, and then mold it. It should mold itself nicely to the handlebars at the angle that you want it to be. As it is now, if I did want to twist, I could twist it and add more hot melt glue to get the angle right, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it set and test this out in practice, in use, and see if I think it's firm enough, if the camera wobbles, etc. So I will report back on how well that works as a mechanism for attaching the Ghost X Drift, or Drift Ghost X camera to the handlebars of a bike. And for the second fixing, a slight variation. I do have that, which is not a very tight clip, I've got some garden tie wrap. I don't know how strong that is in practice, but that's to hold it on. And plenty of hot melt glue. And I left the tie wraps loose. So there's glue above and underneath the tie wraps. So as you tighten it up, you're tightening through a nicely solidified block of whatever the heat meltable plastic material the hot melt glue is made of, and that feels good and solid on there now. So that's a solid mount onto the handlebars, which is what I wanted, low profile.